This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Friday, September 27th, 2024. I'm Alex Brown. The CEO of Carmel-based MBX Biosciences says the company's debut 2 weeks ago on the NASDAQ has been in the works for several years. Kent Harlock said on Inside Indiana Business Television that the move was like opening a door to resources they didn't have before.
As pleased as we are with it, it really is a means to an end. And we believe it helps bring us closer to our ultimate goal, which is bringing new medicines to the patients who need them.
MBX is developing treatments for endocrine and metabolic diseases as well as obesity. General Motors could potentially lay off 253 part-time temporary workers at its Fort Wayne assembly plant if a new contract agreement isn't reached with the United Auto Workers Union. A spokesperson for the automaker told Inside Indiana Business that the layoffs would take place on Monday. Evansville-based Atlas World Group announced Thursday that it has extended its contract with Chairman and CEO Jack Griffin. Atlas said its board of directors is confident that under Griffin's leadership, the transportation, moving, and storage services company will continue to thrive into 2025 and beyond. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, we'll dive into each region's unique challenges and distinct opportunities for growth. 9 regions, one goal. Indiana's bold future starts here. Discover more and register at ibj.com/engage.
Jennifer McCormick, the Democratic candidate for governor, released a set of economic development policy goals on Thursday. IIB's Marek Mazurek has details.
McCormick's plan calls for, quote, reform and increased transparency in the Economic Development Corporation. It also calls for incentivizing employer-based childcare efforts and ensuring every county gets state-level support. McCormick seeks to overhaul the IEDC's, quote, overextended role by reducing its ability to act as a real estate developer, as it has done with the Leap Lebanon Innovation District in Boone County. The agency should act with increased transparency over how it uses taxpayer dollars as well, she said, including producing regular public reports about ongoing tax incentives. That way, Hoosiers can track the rate of return on the state investments. The IEDC does make public most of the incentive contracts it reaches with companies available in its online transparency portal, but some of the details in those contracts aren't disclosed for competitive reasons, and contracts aren't always posted in a timely manner. McCormick said she'd also like to reduce the length of large tax abatements in tax increment financing districts, which current law allows to be up to 20 years. McCormick did not provide a recommended cap, but she said she would propose that question to a quarterly business roundtable with business owners and her administration. She does credit the IEDC for some of its recent accomplishments and said the READY Initiative and Stellar Pathways are 2 programs she would continue. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indoor golf simulator provider True Golf Holdings has announced a regional development deal to bring its new indoor venue concept to the Chicago area and Northwest Indiana. The Utah-based company inked the deal with entrepreneurs Bob Early and Ron Brazanza for the True Golf Links indoor simulator franchise. The agreement includes the rights to open 80 locations, either owned or franchised, though specific locations have not yet been identified. Each location will feature 5 or more simulator bays, a bar and dining area, and a pro shop, according to a news release. The flagship location is designed for 5,000 square feet or more and includes a double-size bay and stadium seating for events. Standard facilities will occupy 3,800 square feet. Endress & Hauser General Manager Todd Lucy is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.